welcome to another video. Today's video, I haven't been Zwifting for a while. As you would have seen in my last video, I did go to Zhuhai for 4 days, and so I haven't been over in the gym, which is right there, doing some Zwifting. Now, has this camera picked me up? I've actually got this camera and this camera going because for some reason I like to make editing difficult. You can actually see if this camera follows me, this camera in the background. So I thought it might be nice just to have a bit of dynamicness. But before I get any further, so in this video I'm going to discuss 3 things. One is the most difficult descent in Zwift. People think it's going to be easy, but they make so many mistakes, very simple mistakes. So what I'm going to do is going to compare 2 of the giants of Zwift live streaming. That camera's lost me, so come back to this one. Biff, bonk, Biff. And then later on his child's probably going to be called Get Married, if he's not all married. Have a child, Get Fat, Get Slow. And also Road to A. Now, has this camera got me? No, it's all over the place. So Road to A, I'm going to go and get this camera. You got me? Come on, follow me. Come this way. Come on, good boy. So, and Road to A. Now, they often stream together as, what do they call it on YouTube? Where you, why is this camera really bad at picking me up? Stream together when you're doing a collaboration. That's what it's called. So, they both know how to Zwift really well. They both know the dynamics. They've been around Zwift for a long time. So I thought it'd be really good to do a comparison of them on the Epic Descent. And then also I'm going to talk quickly about Zhuhai, and then also talk about the fact that I really miss my computer. Things like this would be so much easier to edit on my computer, but I'm just editing on my phone. Yes, iPhone's good. I really should have a MacBook, but to get a MacBook just to edit while I travel, I could spend it on a drone, so I could have 3 cameras going at once and then trying to edit it on my phone. It's so difficult. So first thing, what I'll do is I'll do a quick voiceover of the descent, comparison between the 2, and critique, because that's what I do, but also you'll be able to see some tips for yourself. So we'll do that now. Rightio, so we're at the top of the descent, both of them side by side, comically squeezed. So anyway, let's get on with it. Now, there's going to be a slight difference because Bike Bonk Biff on the left has a bit of draft at the moment, but as you can see, he's putting out 300 watts. This is where my big takeaway from this video, you don't have to worry about watching to the end, is that just trust the super tuck. Descending solo is just as fast as having someone in front of you, unless you've got like 5 or 6 riders. But if you've got 1 or 2 riders, don't worry about losing their draft. Just trust the super tuck. And as you'll see, Road to A is a lot more efficient with his watts on this descent. It gets a lot more recovery from the climb. Bike Bonk Biff does the right thing. He pushes hard on the bits that aren't steep. But you'll see, especially this section here, they're both pretty even. There's no draft either for Bike Bonk Biff, so there's not much, that's not going to come into it. They're both pretty much riding solo at the moment. But watch this. There's going to be a big difference to them just in this section. And it actually slows down one of them significantly. And a lot more effort. As you can probably guess, the one I'm talking about is the one pedaling at the moment, Bike Bonk Biff. It's just gone too early, and he's actually slowed himself up. Rather annoyingly, they haven't got kilometers an hour or miles per hour on both screens. But you'll see that as we get to the top here, Road to A has, because he's been pedaling less, he's able to put out more power. He's doing 500 watts now. Maybe Bike Bonk Biff is slowing up for the rider behind, which makes sense. But it still shows that descending by yourself isn't the worst thing on this descent. If you do lose the draft, just relax. Don't worry about trying to grab the draft. Don't keep pedaling. Just let yourself get back into the super tuck, which is what Bike Bonk Biff's done now. Just relax.
That's why I hate the super tuck. Like, you get in their draft, and then they just go. And no matter if you pedal or not, frustrates the heck out of me.
As we see, Road to A has actually gained a little bit of time there because Bike Bump Biff was not in the Super Tuck. And Road to A went a little bit faster over the hill. Now Bike Bump Biff, again, still pedaling away. He's fast enough to Super Tuck now, but the problem is he's got the draft. Now he will grab the Super Tuck after he gets through this draft.
Not even gonna try a Super Tuck, it's dumb.
But he needs the Super Tuck now, but still pedaling here is actually slowing him down. It's robbed him a few kilometres an hour, or a few miles per hour before this bit. And he hasn't recovered enough. Road to A is able to put over 500 watts because he's had that recovery. And look at their heart rate. I know that everyone's heart rate's individual, but Road to A's, if you look at their graph, actually you can't really see Bike Bump Biff as much, but
cheers,
there's a lot, well, there's a big block of blue,
what up, MK, what up, E?
and then far less spikes. Actually the graph's probably not the best example considering you can't see it all. But see Bike Bump Biff here, still pedaling. Road to A's done no pedaling at all. And this is the difference in time. And now, so Zhuhai. Zhuhai's a crazy place. Like Guangzhou is a typical Chinese city. It's a large capital though. So during Chinese New Year, you're actually not allowed to set off your own fireworks wherever you want. There's probably areas, but where we are here, in this part of the city, you won't see fireworks being set off. Whereas in Zhuhai, it's nuts. There is special zones that are all on the river or just near the river. But otherwise, in terms of the fireworks, you also have the loud crackers, which most of you would know, associate with Chinese fireworks is those long, really long line of those red crackers about the size of your finger, but hundreds and hundreds of them. And they just get set off all times of the day. Like in the 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll be walking along and all of a sudden they go off. And so it's like going in a war zone. There's so much noise. And poor old Ethan, he didn't know what to make of it. He'd be walking along and you go through the laneways because it's an old village, fishing village port basically. And so he'd be going through the laneways and you couldn't even tell which direction they're coming from because it'll just be echoing through the laneways. And so bam, 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 bam. So when I first got there, I was walking him along with the stroller. I had to keep covering his ears to stop him from getting hearing damage. Because then you can't actually see the fireworks because they're just so loud and echo through the laneways. Where are you going, camera? Maybe here. They echo through the buildings. Anyway, so the second day we were there, that night was what we would term as New Year's Eve. So it's the last day of the year, but that camera is just really not working well. Chinese New Year, it's not just one day, it's like 2 weeks of celebrations. You've got cleaning day before you even get Chinese New Year. But anyway, I digress because I don't know enough. This is not that sort of video about it. But so we went to see my wife's grandfather's old house where he used to have the fishing boat. And we went to, it was quite a long way. It's along the river, very close to the entrance to the sea. And we watched some fireworks. I'll put some footage in of that. we got some ear muffs for Ethan so that he wouldn't damage his ears. We had them for the flight already so that he could watch the movies on the flight without, because we were playing videos on our phone, not the entertainment system. But again, I digress. So that was fun. The only problem was, in China, as I said, because it's not just one day. So in Australia, it's kind of good because China Boxing Day is actually really good, probably like the rest of the world. Is you do Boxing Day, and that's the day to relax and have fun. Whereas Christmas Day is actually quite stressful. You got to go and see relatives, extended relatives, and the camera. Come on, yeah, extended relatives, and so that's quite a full-on day, quite exhausting, and actually a lot of pressure, a lot of people, and it's not actually that fun a day for most people. I personally, I don't like Christmas Day. I much prefer Boxing Day. But with China, there's no one day. So we got there and had a rest the first day. Second day we did yum cha. Well, we did lunch and then dinner. And then lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner. Or maybe not the last day. But anyway, it's quite full on. Often, well, I always get sick. I think it's because of the traveling. Come on, phone, pick me up. I think it's because of the traveling. Taking trains and buses, even being on Ubers and things, I don't really trust. And the problem is you're in another country, so why are you not picking me up? Yeah, so I might have to swap that because it's really bad. And so you're just introduced to new bugs that you haven't had in another country. So generally what happens, I end up getting sick on the third or fourth day, which again has happened today. I mean, this trip. And so the last day I spent just basically sitting in the hotel. Whitney's family is never happy when I miss anything. Even though I've done all the other stuff, they're not happy that I missed that last lunch. But I need to rest because although technically we're supposed to do everything with the father's family, we've still got Whitney's mother's family to go and visit, and of course another few more weeks here in China, so I don't want to get sick. Plus I want to get some training done. Anyway, so I'm feeling a bit better now. Ethan's sick, that's the problem, and that's always with the kids. I got it, then Ethan's got it. Hopefully he's not going to get it too badly. I seem to have got over it quite quickly. And then I can get across and do some gym exercises. I'll try and hire a bike and go for a ride. For those who haven't watched the video, because pretty much no one did watch the video, that's the island there that I was taking a lot of footage of my very, very, very slow ride. Because the problem is you can see in the distance, like I'm not sure if you can see it on this camera because it might be cut off. Well, actually it is cut off. I know it for sure it is cut off. But you can't, there's a mountain that's a long way away. Relative speaking for me and for you guys as a cyclist, it's not that far. If I was a local here, I'd quite happily get on my bike if I had it, ride to that mountain and ride up it. But as a non-local, it's just not happening. I don't know the roads, I don't know the rules. I don't even know when I get there how I'm going to get up because you got to use your passport to enter it. It's just part of the Chinese system where tourism places you go to, you just got to show your ID just to let them know who you are getting in, which is minus, but also it's a great thing in terms of you feel a lot more safe. But I don't want to go into that. Anyway, so what was the other things I was going to talk about? Let's see if this camera can pick me up. See if it picks me up again. There we go. So you can see a bit more of this area. Problem is you've got the vents for the drains, which can be a bit stinky. How's my collar? So the other thing too, I really miss having my computer. That would make it so much easier. It wouldn't make a difference for this sort of video, but editing it becomes so much easier. And I don't use scripts. Sometimes I'll write out something and say, okay, this is what I want to talk about. And sometimes I'll use like maybe 3 or 4 sentences to make sure that I get things right and don't waffle on like I am now. I really hate using AI scripts because it's always like, watch to the end. I'll let you know on my bonus tip. You don't want to miss this. Things like that, like just those little phrases. Yeah, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought anything about it. I would have just put it in. But it turns me off when I watch a video and someone will say 5 tips and then a bonus tip, or 5 things and five things I like and 5 things I dislike. Watch to the end because you really don't want to miss this. It puts me off so much, especially when I turn around and I lose focus. But anyway, I do waffle on too much. So the editing process is a lot harder for my videos, which when I'm using DaVinci Resolve, at least I can easily cut bang, bang, bang. Whereas using on the phone, you're like, oh, God damn it, I missed it by a second trying to get it right. It's not impossible. You can still do it, but it just adds to the faff. Anyway, I'll come back to this camera because you'll be able to see the boats coming down the river maybe. Can you? If I stay on this camera, I can see if I can see I've got those boats. Let's see if you can pick me up. I should be in there anyway. Yeah, I've got those boats coming in. That's good. Now, where's my sound on this one? Yeah, it's all picking up. Okay. Oh, don't press stuff because it ruins things. Ow! I just hit my leg on the side of a pot. So, anyway, well, there's a really good boat coming down the river. Well, it's actually not that great, but it's very close. Should I pick you up? No, you just have to pay for a ticket to come to Guangzhou and have your camera just sliding away. Why is it not picking me up? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you running? Why are you running? Okay, it's back again. All right, well, I back up into a tree. I always kind of feel weird filming here in this garden because it's not the garden for Whitney's parents. That's on the other side. But there's one of the neighbours is always in that garden gardening. So it looks nice, but he's always there and I don't want to be wandering around him whilst he's gardening. And then on the other side, there's just a whole lot of dead plants which just end up with, well, it doesn't look as nice as this. And plus you've got the river view here. Whenever I stand behind here, I don't know why I'm waffling on. I'm kind of in a crossroads with my Zwift channel because I'm almost at 1,000 subs. And I know that once I get to 1,000 subs, I probably won't get monetized because the problem is you need to have 4,000 hours watched and I'm only at 3,000 hours watched. So for even if I get to 1,000 subs, I still need another 1,000 hours of watching. So I'll just waffle on for a bit longer. But no, so this channel's never going to make me money. But I really like tech. As you can see, like I'm stupidly set up a camera here and a camera here. If I could, as I said, I'd have a drone. I've been looking at the prices in China for the Mini 5 Pro, but the problem with Australia is that the DJI Mini 5 Pro is classified as a non-micro vehicle. So where I live is within 5 kilometres of an airport, and same with when I go to my mum's house in Canberra, that's within 5 kilometres of an airport. And so if I just want to wander around the block and just chuck the drone up in the air to do just boring shots, really, me just walking along down the street, it's just going to be, it's not going to work with the DJI Mini 5 Pro, Mini 5 Pro, because it's a recreational. And if I get the Mini 4 Pro, I can, but the Mini 4 Pro is a previous model. And the difficult thing is that it's actually not that much cheaper. The 5 Pro, I'm really waffling on here. I'm not a tech channel, why am I talking about tech? If you do have a drone, what do you recommend? I was also thinking of is it the Neo 2? Which is more of a vlogger's drone, which is probably what I should get because I'm not professional, but I do want to get something that's at least decent so I can take photos. Oh, so then the other thing, I didn't realize it because you often go to places and there's drones up in the air at nighttime. Legally, you can't fly a drone at nighttime either in China or Australia. So a lot of the times the shots that you want to take, you have to ask for permission. And as a recreational, just a micro pilot, you're not going to get permission from Australian Civil Aviation or Safety Authority. That just rolled off the tip of my tongue, didn't it? CASA. I shouldn't cover my mouth when I talk because it just ruins everything. Civil Aviation Safety Authority, which is CASA. And in China, I'm not quite sure what it's called. I'm going to walk backwards. Oh, pick me up. There we go. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's the same thing in China. I still got to ask for permission. So flying in these beautiful buildings over here at night time, I've seen drones do it, but not that many. And now I know why, because you can't fly a drone at night time looking at the apps legally. And in China, it's not like you can just chuck a drone up and do it sneakily and legally. Like in Australia, you can, because you don't have to register your drone. So they don't know that your drone's there. But in China, being China, they're very good at keeping people in check. And so the drone will automatically, to be able to fly it in China, have to register it and link it. And the batteries automatically send a signal as soon as you start flying, saying this is the serial number, this is the owner, linked to my passport, flying a drone. And so if I'm flying it in the dark, China are going to know. I don't know how much they bother cracking down, but it's also something you don't want to find out. And so I think if I wanted to, I'm really waffling on about this. Wow, this one's really lost me. If I really want to fly at night time, I basically have to go through the process of getting basically a commercial pilot's license for drone usage in China, to then have the opportunity to then say, I need to fly this place at night time. Can you please give me authorization for a certain amount of period? And they're more likely to say yes, which is time and money for, well, this channel's not, it's not going to be worth it for this channel, is it? So I've waffled on a long time. Let's go and get this camera back. Whoa. So let's see how this goes. So I've got another channel that I've set up, but I've been really poor. Let's get both of you going at the same time. I've been really poor at editing the content. I've got so much footage shot. Made it to the top, Ethan.
Made it to the top.
Yeah, get Mum in. Mum's got to get close to me because it's on me. So what I really should be doing is editing that footage. Anyway, I don't know why I waffle on about that. It's just a waste of time, isn't it? How good is this at picking me up with the... It's getting darker, so I need to expose better for that. So which camera do you think's done the better job? What are you doing? Why are you looking at the camera? Stop looking at the camera. Look at me. Where are you going? Where are you going? Anyway, I think that's done a better job because it's stuck. Can't move. This one's got a mind of its own. Usually the app, usually I use the Insta360 app to do the following. But this, I'm using the Blackmagic app because I thought, oh, that will be better. Why not? Yeah, it's not. All right, I better go. Peace out. Motorbike.